Hello, everyone. My name is Marion with DTM Real Talk Channel. It's the channel that you can tune into, have the ability to listen to the thoughts of others about topics all over the world that touch every one of our lives. Everybody goes through basically the same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. So if you're going through, someone else has already been there. Maybe you can find hope. Maybe it's a pathway that can set you on the right road just by tuning in. So DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. And if you like it, like us at the bottom, subscribe, and let us know just how we helped you. Just keeping it real. Nothing but love. Good evening. This is DTM Real Talk, and we're just keeping it real tonight, wherever you are, morning, noon, night. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if this is your first time tuning in, we'd like to say thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. Maybe something will be said that will encourage you, help you, or encourage someone else. And share. We want you to just share the channel. We're excited. We're going on 3 years and 4 months. Yeah, 3 years and 4 months. So if you have a story that you'd like to share, if you have a testimony, if it was someplace in your life where God has brought you from, and you want to share that journey with us, please reach out to me at DTM Real Talk at Gmail. That's right, dtmrealtalk@gmail.com. I'm excited tonight because what I've been seeing is that it is through your pain, it is through your struggles, it is through hardship, it is through obstacles that we grow. That's how we grow, YouTube land. If you don't have rain, you don't know how to appreciate the sunshine. I think that was a song by the Hawkins Singers a long time ago. But anyhow, it's a scripture too. But anyway, we want to hear from you. If you have a story, if you have a testimony that you feel that can help someone else where God has brought you through. And the reason I'm saying that is tonight, we want you to take a look at some clips of old, about a year ago, of Dacki, Knox. I'm going to play them for you, so just hold on. A few clips I want you to take a look at of Dacki Knox, and she shares her story, how she went to prison. And you can go back and look at the detail. I'll just share only a few pieces of it, how she went to prison, but most of all, how that journey ended up. She actually had to deal with some unforgiveness, and that unforgiveness came about as a trauma, the loss of her daughter. Her daughter was actually raped and killed by the neighbor. And she's going to tell you guys how she came to forgiveness and to freedom. I tell you, every time I listen to it, I get so excited because what you need to understand, forgiveness is not for the other person. It is simply for you. Listen into Dacki's story and prepare for her to come back next week because her pain has actually birthed purpose.
While I was there, my daughter, my 3.5-year-old daughter, was murdered. My neighbor had raped and smothered her and suffocated her.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
And in that, I had to stay there, and my family had to come down there and get me. So when they let me go, they wasn't gonna let me go because they don't let you come out of prison without being bodyguard. And it's only by the grace of God that I did not have to be bodyguard. And they told me, give them 3 reasons why they should let me go without being bodyguard. And I told them, number 1, I brought her in the world. Number 2, I want to get to the bottom of it. And number 3, I'd be a fool not to come back when I'm finna walk in a day. So I already knew when I went back down there, they had made an error. I was getting ready to walk. So right. She got killed on January 17, 1988. Wow. I come home to bury her and go back down there, and they released me January 26, 1988, time served. Wow. And so through that, I was hurt and I was angry and I was bitter. And That's where unforgiveness came in.
Yes.
Because I was mad at myself, mad at my family, and sure enough, mad at my neighbor because you ate off the same table with me.
Wow.
You raised up with me, you know. So that was a hard pill for me to swallow. But God has spoken to me in that jail cell, and He had told me He had to take her in order for me to live.
Wow.
And that's a hard pill. You know, I'm upset with you too, God, now. Through it all, I had to learn to forgive my neighbor and forgive his family, forgive myself first, and forgive others. And through that process, I was able to talk about it. I was able to see that if it had not been for her dying, I wouldn't have life today. The first part of healing is admitting that you got a problem.
That is correct.
I had to admit that I was powerless. They said, well, how do you know you really, truly forgave him? He raped your daughter and smothered her to death. She lived 90 minutes. And when they send the parole papers right today, he's still locked up, life sentence.
Okay.
And when they send the parole paper, they ask me, do I want to deny him a parole? I said, no, I'm not going to deny him. Y'all make that choice because the blood is not on my hand anymore. Right. I have forgiven him. That's between you, him, and the Lord.
Right. And you know what, Dacki, what really blesses me is that you shared with us how you really forgave him, and it was about your heart. It wasn't about his response. It was about you looking inside of your own heart before God and releasing him of that charge. And that's what forgiveness is about. I tell people all the time,
it's not about for that other person, it's for you.
Not for the other person, it's for you. And you were able to be free to serve that family as the Lord had led you to do. So what I want to do is say thank you for your transparency. Thank you for sharing. Thank you just for being who you are, for allowing God to use you in that instance to bless so many other women. And I know the women out there, everybody, but we're talking to the women out there right now. I'm sure that God has spoken through Dacki to you. So be about it and forgive. And the first thing you have to do is to admit it. Guys, you guys get ready. She'll be back to tell us the rest of her story next week. I am so excited. I actually cannot wait to hear it. It has actually birthed purpose in her life today. And so many people were blessed by her story on last year. And so I just want to encourage you to share the channel, Forgiveness is necessary. Guys, unforgiveness is a beast. It is a beast. If you don't embrace it, whatever it is the offender has done to you, if you haven't forgiven yourself, if you haven't forgiven that individual, if you haven't forgiven, then you're walking around like a ticking time bomb to others and a cancer to yourself. Unforgiveness is eating you alive. If you haven't embraced it, admitted that you're walking in unforgiveness. Embrace it, YouTube land. And then you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive the offender. You have to get accountability. Get an accountability partner. You heard her say she talked about it. She took her a while to talk about it. It takes a while to talk about it, but the key is talking about it. You know, the Bible tells us, and those of you that are believers, you will remember this. It's in the Proverbs, and I think it is Proverbs, I want to say 18, Proverbs 18, 19, somewhere in there. It says, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. That's strong. So when you're offended by abuse, you're offended and you're not forgiving that person, it's festering inside of you and it's very difficult to break. It takes the power of God and a willing heart to do so. Yeah. Don't get me all excited, y'all. This is DTM Real Talk, and we're just doing what? Looking forward to you next week, Dacki, to share what God has done from last year up until now. You guys be good. I want you to try to be good. This is DTM Real Talk, and we're just keeping it real on purpose. See y'all next week. Thanks for watching DTM Real Talk. Be sure to join us for more conversation. And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe while you're there.